Karen handed over her phone with shaking hands. Marcus studied the countdown display, 57:23 and ticking down. He texted back from Karen's phone. Asterisk, need more specifics on what you want. Which component? Asterisk. The response came instantly. Asterisk, the RF transmitter module. Small black box with silver antenna. Inside is a microchip with courthouse security protocols. Asterisk. Marcus turned to Patel. Call for backup, but keep it quiet. No sirens, no uniforms. And get Captain Reeves on standby with a cyber team. We need to trace these texts. To Karen, he said, I need you to play along. Go back to your party. Tell everyone this was a misunderstanding about borrowed equipment. Act normal. I can't just. You can and you will, Marcus said firmly. Lives are at stake, including yours. Karen's eyes widened, but she nodded, smoothing her designer dress and visibly composing herself before walking back toward her lingering guests. Marcus examined the toolbox carefully, locating the RF transmitter, a component used to test security systems' response to various signal frequencies. It looked untampered with, but if Harmon was after it specifically, what's so special about this? He murmured to Patel, who was ending her call with the captain. Reeves says that transmitter was just recalibrated yesterday to match the new courthouse security frequencies, she replied quietly. With it, someone could create a device that bypasses all security checkpoints, or worse, trigger false alarms at will, causing evacuations whenever they wanted. Marcus carefully removed the transmitter, perfect distraction for something bigger. Through the garden gate, they spotted movement at the black sedan. A man emerged briefly, scanning the property before ducking back inside. Backup's 3 minutes out. Patel whispered. Cyber team is tracing the texts. Marcus made his decision. He sent another text from Karen's phone. Asterisk found it. Meeting you as discussed. Asterisk. Then, to Patel, I need you to take care of the training device. Disconnect its power cell. There's a panel on the underside. I'm going to handle the exchange. Alone? That's not protocol, Rivera. Neither was leaving my toolbox unattended, he countered. I started this mess. Before she could protest further, Marcus slipped through a side gate, circling behind hedges toward the street. He approached the sedan from behind, transmitter in one hand, service weapon drawn, but hidden in the other. The driver's window lowered as he approached. James Harmon's face appeared, handsome and arrogant. Detective Rivera himself, he said smoothly. How unexpected. It's over, Harmon. We know about the courthouse bombs, testing our response times, learning our protocols. Marcus kept his voice level. For what? A bigger target? Harmon's smile didn't reach his eyes. Insurance, detective. My company's contract is up for renewal. Nothing demonstrates value like preventing a major incident. He extended his hand. The transmitter, please. Then we all walk away. And the countdown. A bluff. Mostly. Harmon shrugged. The device isn't explosive, but it could trigger alarms. Useful leverage. From her garden, Karen watched the exchange, her guests oblivious as they sipped champagne. The news crews, sensing something happening, began moving toward the street. In that moment, several things happened at once. Patel successfully disabled the training device. Backup units silently surrounded the block, and Marcus made his move. James Harmon, you're under arrest for theft of police equipment, conspiracy, and connection to the courthouse bombing incidents. He raised his weapon, hands where I can see them. Harmon's face contorted with rage. He reached for something. Gun! Marcus shouted, ducking as Patel and backup officers converged. The confrontation ended in seconds. Harmon was subdued, the weapon secured, and the black sedan searched, revealing plans for what would have been the most devastating courthouse bombing yet, scheduled for the following week. As Harmon was led away in handcuffs, Karen approached Marcus, her garden party dispersing behind her amid confused murmurs. I had no idea, she said quietly. I just thought it was a simple theft. Marcus finished. Nothing's ever simple, Ms. Winters. She nodded, watching the news crews now swarming the police activity. What happens to me now? Marcus considered. That depends on your cooperation. We'll need your full statement about Harmon's involvement. 3 days later, the headlines read, Bomb plot foiled. Unlikely partnership prevents courthouse disaster. The article detailed how a citizen informant had helped police crack the case. Somehow, Karen had spun herself as a deliberate infiltrator rather than an unwitting thief. The gates of Lakeview Estates loomed ahead, a monument to exclusivity with their ornate ironwork and brick pillars. The security guard, a retired cop named Daniels, who Marcus recognized from police functions, barely glanced at Officer Patel's badge before waving them through with a knowing look. Winters, right? He asked, popping his gum. Figured someone would come for her eventually. Marcus raised an eyebrow. Something we should know. Daniels shrugged. Lady's got a reputation. Takes what she wants. Acts like she's entitled to it. Last month, it was Mrs. Patterson's imported koi. Month before that, someone's delivered packages. He leaned closer. But you didn't hear it from me. They followed the GPS signal to a sprawling colonial house at the end of a cul-de-sac. Caterers bustled in and out, carrying silver trays and floral arrangements. Through wrought iron gates leading to the backyard, Marcus glimpsed women in pastel dresses sipping champagne. Looks like the party's in full swing, Patel murmured. How do you want to play this? Marcus considered their options. Direct approach. Any attempt at subtlety will just give her time to hide the evidence. They walked around to the garden entrance, following the sound of laughter and clinking glasses. The scene was exactly what Marcus expected, wealth on display, from designer sundresses to jewelry that could fund his annual salary. His gaze locked on the center table where, incredibly, his toolbox sat like some bizarre art installation, festooned with orchids and supporting a champagne fountain. Karen stood nearby, gesturing with a flute of bubbling liquid, mid-anecdote. Her red hair was professionally styled, her makeup flawless. She faltered only momentarily when she spotted Marcus and Patel at the garden entrance. Ladies, she called out, voice pitched to Carrie. More guests have arrived. 20 pairs of eyes turned toward them. Marcus felt instantly out of place in his rumpled shirt and tactical pants, but he straightened his posture and approached with Officer Patel at his side. Ms. Winters, he said, loudly enough for nearby guests to hear. I'm Detective Marcus Rivera, Bomb Squad. That's department equipment you've repurposed as a centerpiece. A woman in a peach dress gasped, nearly dropping her champagne. Another backed away from the table. Karen's smile remained fixed, though something calculating flickered in her eyes. I'm afraid you're mistaken, she said smoothly. This lovely piece was a find at an estate sale this morning. Judith can vouch for me. We were shopping together. A nervous-looking woman nodded unconvincingly. Ah yes, the estate sale on Oak Street. Marcus stepped closer to the toolbox, noting with alarm that it was partially open, the red shell of the training device visible among the flowers. Ma'am, this equipment is GPS tracked. He pulled out his phone, displaying the tracking app with its blinking ducks centered precisely on their location. We have you on security camera removing it from my vehicle approximately 3 hours ago. The garden fell silent. Even the caterers paused their activities. Karen's laugh cut through the tension, practiced, confident, but with an edge of steel. Detective, this is absurd. Why would I steal anything? I sell multi-million-dollar properties. That's what we'd like to know. Patel interjected, moving closer to examine the toolbox without touching it. Especially since you seem to know exactly what you were looking for. Karen's eyes narrowed almost imperceptibly. She set down her champagne flute with deliberate care. Ladies, would you excuse us? It seems I need to clear up a misunderstanding with our city's finest. As her guests murmured and began dispersing toward the house, Karen's phone chimed. She glanced at it, and Marcus caught a flash of genuine fear before her mask of composure returned. Is there somewhere we can speak privately? Marcus asked, lowering his voice. Karen nodded, leading them toward a secluded gazebo. As they walked, Marcus glimpsed the black sedan from the security footage parked across the street. When Karen noticed the direction of his gaze, the fear returned to her eyes. And Marcus realized with sudden clarity that whatever was happening here, Karen Winters might not be the mastermind. She might be caught in something much bigger than a simple theft. The gazebo offered little privacy, its white lattice walls more decorative than functional. Karen perched on the edge of a cushioned bench, maintaining the appearance of composure while her manicured fingers nervously twisted the diamond tennis bracelet on her wrist. "Let's start simply," Marcus said, leaning against a pillar. "Why my truck? Why that specific toolbox?" "I don't know what you're talking about," Karen insisted, though the conviction in her voice was waning. "I found that case." "Ms. Winters," Patel interrupted, her tone professional but firm. "We have you on camera. We tracked the GPS. Continuing to lie only makes your situation worse." Karen's gaze darted toward the street where the black sedan remained parked. Marcus followed her line of sight. "Who's in the car, Karen?" he asked quietly. "Who put you up to this?" Before she could answer, her phone chimed again. She glanced at it, visibly paling. "I need to respond, or they'll—" She cut herself off. "Or they'll what?" Marcus pressed. Karen looked up, genuine fear now evident in her eyes. "My ex-husband, James. He said it was just corporate espionage, something about security contracts and competitive bids." Her voice lowered to a whisper. "He didn't tell me it involved bomb squad equipment." "James?" Patel exchanged a glance with Marcus. "James Harmon, the courthouse security contractor." Karen nodded. "He offered to make my alimony problems disappear if I acquired a specific case from a specific truck today. He knew it would be there." She swallowed hard. "I thought it was just business documents or something. When I saw what looked like a device inside, I called him, and he said it was just a prototype security scanner. That's all." As this revelation sank in, commotion erupted from the front of the house. Car doors slammed, followed by the unmistakable sound of media voices and equipment. "What the hell?" Marcus strode to the edge of the garden where he could see the driveway. A local news van had arrived, a reporter already speaking into a microphone with Karen's house as backdrop. His phone rang. "Captain Reeves. Rivera, there's a breaking news story about police harassment and missing explosives in Lakeview Estates. Tell me that's not you." "Sir, we've got a situation developing here. Karen Winters claims James Harmon." "Harmon?" Reeves cut in. "The courthouse security guy?" "Yes, sir. She says he put her up to stealing the equipment. This could be connected to our bombing cases." A second news van pulled up, followed by a sleek town car from which emerged a silver-haired man in an expensive suit. Karen's lawyer, Marcus guessed. The situation was escalating by the second. Karen appeared beside Marcus, phone in hand. "He's activated something in your device," she said, voice trembling. "Look." She showed him her screen. A text with an attachment. The image showed the training device's display now counting down from 60 o'clock minutes. Another message followed. "Asterisk, tell the detective he has 1 hour before I remotely trigger an alarm signal that will register as a live explosive on every detection system in a 5-mile radius. Evacuation protocols will cause citywide panic. Unless, asterisk." "Unless what?" Marcus demanded. "Unless you walk away and let me take something specific from your toolbox," Karen replied, looking genuinely regretful. "A microchip embedded in one of the components. That's what James really wants." Marcus's mind raced. The training device wasn't actually explosive, but it was designed to mimic one perfectly on all detection systems. If someone triggered its emergency protocol, every alarm in the vicinity would activate. Schools, government buildings, shopping centers, all would go into lockdown or evacuation procedures. The potential for chaos was enormous. Meanwhile, social media was already lighting up. #BombThreat and #LuckyViewPanic were trending locally. The news crews were reporting live, speculating about police activity and potential dangerous materials. "We're out of time," Officer Patel said urgently. "That's the Channel 7 helicopter overhead." Marcus made a split-second decision. "Karen, your phone. Now." Marcus Rivera's stomach growled as he navigated the aisles of fresh mart. his movements mechanical after so many hours of precise, life-or-death focus. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, making his fatigue-induced headache worse. 14 hours hunched over a pipe bomb. The third one this month with the same signature components had left his shoulders knotted and his patience thin. Just a sandwich and coffee, he mumbled to himself, then home to crash. He'd violated protocol by leaving the equipment unattended, but the parking lot was nearly empty on this Tuesday afternoon, and he'd be quick. The titanium case was unmarked. Department policy to avoid drawing attention, though its military-grade construction and specialized locks should have deterred anyone with sense. Karen Winters had many qualities, but sense wasn't foremost among them. She'd finished showing a nearby property, another $1 million listing that would net her a handsome commission, when she spotted the beaten pickup truck. Karen navigated life by a simple principle. Quality items belonged with quality people. Her definition of quality people began and ended with herself. She circled Marcus's truck once, designer heels clicking on asphalt, red lacquered nails drumming on her steering wheel. The toolbox gleamed in the afternoon sun. Expensive, professional grade, definitely worth something. Karen's third ex-husband had been in construction. She recognized good equipment when she saw it. Probably some contractor who can't even afford proper tools, she murmured, parking her Mercedes beside the truck. I'd be doing him a favor, really. He could claim it on insurance, upgrade to something proper. The security camera captured her practiced movements, the casual glance around, the confident stride of someone who believed the world owed her whatever she could carry away. What the camera also caught, though Marcus wouldn't notice until much later, was the brief phone call she made before approaching the truck, and the nod toward a black sedan idling at the far end of the lot. Karen's manicured hands gripped the handles of the case, and her eyes widened at the unexpected weight. Whatever was inside was dense, heavy, perhaps even more valuable than she'd initially thought. She braced her knee against the truck's tailgate, leveraging her gym-toned arms to heave the box into her cargo area. A bead of sweat threatened her perfect makeup, and she huffed in irritation. Inside Freshmart, Marcus's phone vibrated. A blocked number. He ignored it, paying for his sandwich as the cashier droned about the weather. Outside, Karen smoothed her Channel skirt and checked her reflection in the SUV's tinted window. Perfect. No one would question a woman like her. That was her superpower, looking like she belonged everywhere, even when taking things that weren't hers. As she slid into the driver's seat, her phone chimed with a text. *confirm acquisition*. She glanced at the toolbox now secured in her cargo area and typed back. *package obtained. Heavier than expected. Meeting at a ranged location in 30*. The reply came instantly. *check contents first. Verification required*. Karen frowned, tapping her French-tipped nails against the steering wheel. This wasn't part of her agreement with her ex. Simple job, he'd said. Good money. No questions. Still, curiosity gnawed at her. What exactly had she stolen that warranted such secrecy? She drove to the far corner of the parking lot, where cameras couldn't reach, and attempted to open the case. The sophisticated locking mechanism resisted her efforts. After several frustrated attempts, she managed to trigger an emergency release, another detail that would later make Marcus question whether this had truly been a random theft. The case opened just enough for Karen to glimpse the contents. Metallic tools she didn't recognize, a tablet-like device, and something wrapped in protective foam with a visible red shell and digital display. She snapped a photo with her phone and sent it to her contact. The response was immediate. *perfect. Double payment. Proceed to drop off*. As Karen pulled away, Marcus exited the store, sandwich in hand, blissfully unaware that his day was about to become infinitely more complicated. The specialized equipment, including a training device programmed to mimic a live explosive down to its electronic signature, was now traveling through suburban streets in the hands of someone who had no idea what she'd actually stolen, or so he thought. "You lost a ***. Captain Reeves' voice escalated with each word, causing heads to turn throughout the precinct. Marcus winced as coffee sloshed onto case files spread across the captain's desk. A training device, sir. It simulates a C4 package down to the electronic signature. Marcus kept his voice steady despite the churning in his gut. Plus the full equipment kit and the department's portable X-ray scanner. Reeves pinched the bridge of his nose. Tell me again how a civilian managed to steal bomb squad equipment in broad daylight. Marcus had been asking himself the same question for the past hour. I violated protocol. 10 minutes in a store, unmarked case in my truck bed. He paused. But something feels off. This wasn't a crime of opportunity. Before Reeves could respond, Officer Patel knocked and entered, tablet in hand. Young and tech-savvy, Patel had an uncanny ability to extract information from digital breadcrumbs. Got the footage enhanced, she announced, sliding the tablet across the desk. Check this out. The security video played in crisp detail. Karen circling the truck, making a call, a black sedan lurking at the edge of the frame. The timestamp showed her struggling with the heavy case, then the moment she checked her appearance before driving away. That's no random theft, Patel said, tapping the screen where Karen's phone was visible. She made a call before approaching your truck. And look, she forwarded to the moment Karen drove to a camera blind spot. Why move to a different parking spot unless she's checking the contents? Run the plates, Reeves ordered. Already did. Mercedes SUV registered to Karen Winters, 45, real estate agent for Prestige Properties. 3 complaints filed against her in the past year for property disputes. Nothing stuck. Patel swiped to Karen's driver's license photo. Lives in Lakeview Estates, the gated community. Reeves whistled. High-end clientele. What's a wealthy realtor doing stealing equipment? Marcus's phone buzzed. Unknown number. He answered, putting it on speaker. Detective Rivera. The voice was digitally altered. Looking for something. Marcus exchanged glances with Reeves and Patel. Who is this? Someone who appreciates quality equipment. The question is, what would you do to get it back? This is a police matter now, Marcus replied evenly. Return the equipment, and we can discuss reduced charges. A distorted laugh crackled through the speaker. Check your messages, detective. The call ended. Seconds later, Marcus's phone chimed with a text containing a photo of his toolbox partially open, the distinctive red shell of the training device clearly visible. How did they get your number? Patel asked. It's not publicly listed. More importantly, Reeves added, how did they know you're a detective? Your truck isn't marked. Marcus studied the image more carefully. The case has a GPS tracker. He pulled up the tracking app on his phone. Signals active. Lakeview Estates, just as you said. But that doesn't explain how they knew who you are. Patel persisted. A second text arrived. Asterisk, your bomb profiles are impressive, detective. Especially the courthouse case this morning. This device is quite convincing. Wonder what would happen if someone reported it in a public place, asterisk. I slid down Marcus's spine. Captain, this wasn't random. They knew exactly what they were taking, and they knew it was mine specifically. Inside job? Reeves asked quietly. Or surveillance? Marcus replied. The courthouse bomber. This could be connected. Patel was already typing. Karen Winters' client list. Let me cross-reference with courthouse employees and contractors. Her screen filled with data. Bingo! She sold the house to James Harmon 3 months ago. The courthouse security contractor, Marcus said, the pieces starting to align. The one who installed the new scanner systems where all 3 devices were found. Reeves stood, straightening his jacket. Gear up. You're paying Ms. Winters a visit. Quietly. If this is connected to the courthouse bomber, we need to contain it before someone realizes what they've got and tries to use that training device to cause panic. As Marcus and Patel headed for the door, another text arrived. Asterisk tick-tock, detective. Your move, asterisk. Attached was a photo showing the training device placed on what looked like an event table with floral arrangements. In the background, a banner partially visible. Lakeview Estates Garden Club Spring Luncheon. Today, 3 p.m. Marcus checked his watch. 2:17 p.m. We need to move. Now.